Hi, Carl here for ProVTV, and today we're looking at the Arri Skypanels, which are possibly the best LED soft panels in the industry. So this is the S30C, and this is the larger S60C, and then there's an even bigger S120C, which is twice the length of this S60. So the C on the end of the product names means colour, because these are actually full RGB LEDs. So you don't just get bi-colour control of your colour temperature, you can also adjust hue and saturation, which we'll go into in much more detail in a minute. But there's also an RP version of each of these lights, which you should know about. So this stands for remote phosphor, and it basically means the light is slightly brighter, but that colour temperature is fixed, so none of the colour control options you see on these lights. So, as you'd expect from Arri, these are premium quality workhorse designed products, which is designed specifically for use on film sets. And this shows in just pretty much every area. The build quality is superb and robust, the power uses 16 amp connections, and the larger lights like this one use big spigots to attach to the light stands. So you need these large combo stands in order to hold them. These are clearly designed to be used on professional film sets, whether in a studio or on location with a crew, gaffer, the whole works. I think there's little doubt that if you're looking for an LED panel which will stand the test of time and be used and abused for years and years and years, these would be a fantastic choice for you. They are a bit big and heavy compared to some competitors, but they're built fantastically well. So let's have a look at what they can do. They have some neat tricks up their sleeve which we'll look at in a minute, but first let's see how well they work as normal soft lights. So you get full control over your colour temperature from 2800 to 10,000 Kelvin, which is a wider range than you would normally find on an LED, plus a green or magenta shift, which is nice to have as well. Dimming is impressive from 100 to 0.1%, but let's look at those all-important colour readings. So, the first thing you notice here is that these are the brightest soft LEDs which I've seen so far. All of these readings were taken at 1 meter, and the S30 comes in around the 6000 lux range, which is twice as bright as most of the competition. And the S60 is nearly twice as bright again, hitting 10 or 11,000 lux at 1 meter. Colour temperature is also nearly spot on here, almost exactly 3200 Kelvin in tungsten mode or 5600 Kelvin when it's set to daylight. But the big shock though is when you look at the TLCI scores. So this is a score out of 100 that measures how colour accurate the light output is. This affects your skin tones, colour reproduction and so on. So both lights when set to 5600 Kelvin get an acceptable but not impressively high 91 TLCI. And when set to 3200, the S30 gets 81 and the S60 is down to 78. It's worth pointing out that this may be able to be improved by tweaking the light. For example, there's a green/minus shift which was set at 0 for most of these tests. So this might not be the whole picture, but it's certainly very, very interesting. So now let's look at the exciting part of the lights, the hue and saturation controls. With the push of a button you can change from colour temperature mode to hue and sat mode, which lets you dial in basically any colour you want. This is obviously useful for adding some interest to the background and for recreating the light coming from artificial sources. With the latest firmware though, Arri took this one step further by adding pre-made lighting effects into the menu. So you get a whole range of different options like police car, paparazzi flashes, fire or candlelight, television light, and loads more. These also each have various options you can change to customize each preset. For example, in the police car, you can choose if it's only blue light or red and blue light, and how many times it flashes each time. These could easily be dismissed as a gimmick, but I think they could actually be quite useful. I mean, the amount of times I've tried to recreate firelight on a short film, for example. I've stood there waving branches and moving filters in front of a hot tungsten light for hours to make it look like a campfire. So I think these could be a quick, simple way to recreate different light sources for people in narrative work. Arri have also made a whole host of accessories to help you work with the Skypanels. So there's the remote, which plugs into the USB port on the light and copies the control panel on the back of the light. This lets you control it when it's up high and out of reach. Arri's attention to detail here really shows as well. For example, they've got a magnet on the back of the remote, which means you can quickly secure it to a metal light stand. It's surprising just how helpful that is when you're actually out there filming. But that's just the start of the accessories list. There's different diffusion amounts, barn doors, honeycombs, egg crates, bars, hard cases, and more. One that stands out from the list though is an accessory called the Skybender. So this is designed for when you're mounting the light along the top or bottom of a green screen or your white background. And it basically bends the light to give you even light coverage across the background, rather than being bright on the side near the light and dark on the opposite side. It's very, very clever. So, what do you think of the Arri Skypanels? Do you agree that they're the best soft panel out there, or are there better low-cost options? And let me know in the comment section below. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.